Hello, good morning and welcome back to our channel, Quinta, Fonte, Pipa. I'm Molly.
I'm Alex.
And we live on a 32-acre homestead here in central Portugal.
With over 50 milking goats. We're always quite busy and there's always a lot to do. Later on in the video I'm going to show you how I'm going to treat our spring water that we use in the tank at the back of our house over there. That we use in the house for showers and washing clothes, etc. Because we've got a little problem with excessive iron in the water, which is beginning to sort of stain our clothes and things like that. So you'll see me a bit later on doing that.
I'm off to Fonte to see a good friend of ours, Charlie, and I did some modelling for him last week, modelling these caps. But we are going over there to have a look at his property because in a few weeks we should have a property sale video for you guys to watch.
I won't be going anywhere. I'll be staying here doing all the chores around the farm, but you enjoy yourselves, eh? And this morning it's about, I don't know, about 20 to 9 in the morning. The sun's nice and high, blue sky, and whilst it's reasonably cool, I thought I'd come out here, as we'd shown you before, how we fill our water tanks, and I'm by the water tank right now, and I've got a bottle of bleach next to me. I'm going to go and show you where we actually, or rather where our water comes from, which fills our tank. I think you guys would have seen before. I'm going to wander down and show you, and I'll tell you why. We've been sort of noticing over quite a period of time the filter setup I've got, which is over there at the back of the house, which I'll show you in a second. The filters are getting a brown slime on them. The filter's job is to stop things coming through the filters, so you'd expect to find a build-up of something on them, but it's a, I don't know, it's a smelly orangey brown coloured slime, and basically it's iron. And the reason it's iron is in this region of Portugal, you've probably seen our house, we've got schisto stone, which is the brown type of sandstone, whereas other parts just have granite. And that brown schisto is very, very, very heavily laden with iron and iron ore. When water flows through it, you might see in certain places, I'm going to show you in a second, a brown and orange looking slime that can almost look like a sort of a chemical pollution, but it's not. It's actually called, it's a bacteria that eats the iron element in the water, which is invisible at that point. And the brown slime and everything else is the oxidized iron in the water that these bacteria have been eating. And obviously I'm going to show you the point of where it comes from. It goes into our tank and then we pump it into this tank. It's completely clear. It's perfectly safe to drink. You're going to be quite shocked at what you're going to see in a minute because it looks really bad. But you can actually drink that water and it's pretty harmless for you. It's only iron. But it clogs your pipes, it makes your water smelly, and when Sandra washes the clothes, sometimes they've got brown stains on them or little rust marks on them, and that's due to the oxidized iron in the water. Now, one way to cure it is to shock it with bleach. Now, the tank behind me is 25,000 litres, so to make that a 5 parts per million loading of bleach, I need to put 2 of these, so it's not a lot of money. These are about €2 each, and pour that into that tank. That kills the bacteria and it oxidizes the iron, which then takes it from an invisible form, which the filters can't really stop. It turns it into physical particles of iron, and they will physically get stopped by the filter. You can clean the filter and pour that away, but if I don't and the bacteria gets to it, it makes this horrible slime which bungs the filters up so you can't reuse them by washing them, and it clogs up all our interior of the house. We found inside the toilet cistern there's a horrible brown slime, and sometimes when you flush the toilet, the part inside that's meant to drop gets stuck on this slime, and then the toilet doesn't refill itself. So it's causing us a few problems. It's nothing bad for our health, but it's just a pain, you know. And I don't want my interior of the house, all the pipework clogging up, because you've already seen I've had enough nightmares with plumbing. And when we had Oli and Jana staying here, one night we had a leak in the house from upstairs, and the immersion boiler that we've got, an electric immersion boiler, had sprung a leak. And the reason it had sprung a leak is because this iron and also a sulfur content in there had eaten away at the heating element, and it burst out and all the water was pouring out the bottom. So we had to go and buy a new water heater. I'm just going to show you what I'm going to do right now. I'll try and fit this camera somewhere so you can see what I'm going to do. I'm not sure how good the camera angle is there. It's not really much to see. 5 litres of bleach. This works a lot faster and a lot better than all the chlorine tablets you buy for swimming pools and things like that, which are slow release. This is instant. Now yesterday the tank is only half full, so I put 2 of these in it yesterday, which will have shocked the iron in the tank, and I'm just going to pour 1 more of these in here, which will keep the level correct, and I'm going to top the tank up to the maximum height, so this will help neutralize any other iron that we're about to pump into the tank in a little while. And then I'm going to take you down the road and show you exactly where we get our water source from. Sorry, I've got some brambles sticking me in the knee. Right, now I'm pouring this just into one. Oh shit. I just lost the camera off the side by pulling on the net that's next to the leg, and I thought the camera had gone in the water. Thank God it hadn't. It's waterproof, but we've got an extra case on it, and when you put this extra case on it for the windproof microphone, it unwaterproofs the camera, so if it had gone in there, I just lost a £500 camera. Right, so I'm trying to do this one hand. I'm going to secure the camera because I don't want to be losing it. But basically I'm pouring this into one corner of the tank, the bleach, and we've got an electric submersible pump in the tank, which I'll switch on in a second, and that will circulate the water around the pump and make sure that the bleach is evenly distributed inside the tank. And now I've done that, I'm going to take the camera off this precarious position it's in and take you down to see where we get the water comes from. I think you guys have all seen before. That's my water tank over there, and the trailer where we pump the water from there up there. And another thing I'm going to do on the way back, don't know if you can see from here, but my IBC container over there is almost empty. The tap is closed on it, there are no leaks anywhere, and that's lost 600 litres of water out of that tank in about 5 days. There's always something, isn't there, to look at. So anyway, we're just going to wander over here. The big lake of Aragem de Pisco is over there. And like most lakes and ponds and things like that, you can't keep them 100% watertight. And water leaks out of the corner of the lake over there, it goes underground, and it comes out here. And hopefully you can see it in the shadow light here. As you can see, I hope, in the light, can you see an orange colour in there? You can see it here, next to the piece of wood. It's very orange, orange over there, and it looks like a pollution, but it's not. The water flows at quite some rate, I can see just over here. I'm sure you guys aren't going to see it. But the water's very on, the mud rather is very orange there, and that's the bacteria from the iron. So you could, in theory, I mean it's orange all over here. You can see it where it's all seeping through. You could, in theory, shock this with a bleach or a chlorine, but it's almost pointless. Ah, there we go. You can see. Can you see that shiny metallic film on the water? It looks like a pollution, doesn't it? It's not. That's completely natural. And what that does is that goes under the road here. Well, there's a proper concrete pipe under there. It comes out here and it flows along here. You can see it flowing there. In fact, you can see some of the colour here, can't you? It's a bit orange. You see all those little particles flowing, and it's orange. I've got a pipe that's buried because this water channel continues, but I buried a pipe about as thick as this black one here under there, so the mud can't fall in the channel. But you can see this has been disturbed here. That's the wild boar because they like a drink. So they come in here, they're filling this water channel in, they're blocking the front of my pipe, then the water's building up here. It then floods out of this water channel and it saturates this field, which has cost me 2 or 3 olive trees that have drowned basically. But this channel continues along here, and I'll show you in a second. It goes underground and it goes in our tank. So it's pretty pointless me trying to sort that out over there. It's huge, it's natural land. I don't want to be pouring bleach in it. It's not going to do any harm to it, but I just don't want to do it. And I think I'll just be chasing my tail. I'll be filling that up. Then the amount of bacteria that's over there is so great, you'd have to dig out tons and tons of it and treat it and treat it and treat it, and it's just pointless. Like I say, there's nothing really bad with the water. We just need to take out that bacteria when it's in our tanks. So the point of treatment, I think, is going to be in our tank over there. It's much simpler for me to do. I don't know if you can see it, but there's the channel. There's a load of slabs here, which is part of the ramp where I come in with the tractor and drive over it. It comes out into here, the water, which I can... yeah, I can't really see it flowing very well. And it's not flowing very well at all. And the reason that is because the javeliers have blocked up the wild boar, rather, have blocked up the tube over there. So, like I have to do every week or two, I have to go and scrape it back. So I've got some larger bore pipe that I'm going to scrape it back, bury the pipe, put the soil over it, and then hopefully the wild pigs won't be able to destroy it much anymore. And this will flow with a greater volume of water. Sometimes naturally it flows with quite a decent flow of water, excuse me, but then when the wild boar mess with it, it drops it right down, and then it just leaks out into this part of the field here, because there was a olive tree there was one roughly where I'm stood here, and it really hasn't treated them very well. I can see one positive thing. Yes, that tyre's still up. If you watched my tyre repair last week, it's worked by the looks of it. Here we are, here's the water tank. At least it's still flowing. By the look of what I was just explaining over there, I was expecting this to be dry, but that's still flowing. But the water's beautifully clear. You know, you can't see this bacteria in it. Sometimes if you put it in a glass of water, you can see an orange colour in the water. But there's none of the algae growing in here. They're only consuming it mainly over there, but this tank's going to have the bacteria in it because it gets into our tanks. And obviously we suck it from here, pass it through the pump, and we send it up to the tank in the back garden where you've just seen me put the bleach. So, but on a side note, that tank was full up. The tap is closed there, because before that remains open normally, and I was thinking maybe I've got a leak here, or it was backing back into the tank there. So I closed that. It's totally dry all around. There isn't a leak anywhere. What's going on? On the top of the tank, it's got a proper lid, and this is the only available area that anything could evaporate from. And I can't see that. What, 600? What's left? Yeah, exactly 600 litres. Because it's down here on the 400 mark, so it's lost 600 litres in about 100 litres a day. I mean, maybe it's evaporating out of this, but I can't see it. Could be evaporating it. I mean, I'm touching the steel frame here now, and it's not hot, but it's warm. So, like I said, it's not even 9 o'clock yet. That is a mystery, a real mystery. So here we are at the little pump house that I built. There's the pump that powers the house. The inlet's there, which brings it from the tank in the garden just over there, which I think you can see just in shot. I've got this plastic bag in front of the filters. The last thing you want is sun getting in here and turning these filters green for you. Yesterday, this was full of just muck, this one, which is a first screen. This is a woven string filter, which should stop nearly everything going through it. That was, well, you can see the colour of it. It's got that orange rusty hue to it, which is the iron, the bacteria. I washed that out yesterday rather, with bleach. This one in here has got a carbon activated filter and a super fine mesh on it, so nothing should get through, but we're getting this slimy liquid in the house. It's building up in the drains. We washed it all through and poured bleach all over it yesterday, which has got rid of it. So I need to go and buy a couple more filters of these, so they're brand new, because that's obviously still, I've only cleaned the it was like a horrible jelly all over it, so it's not cleaned the filter inside the string. I've just cleaned the exterior of it really, so it wants replacing. But in the 24 hours, a little bit, 36 hours since we've done it, it's making a massive difference. And you don't smell the bleach in the house. The concentration isn't that strong. You don't have to worry about that. And if you've got a carbon filter, that will actually take out any last smells or anything of any bleach, so nothing to worry about. So I hope that gives you an insight into how we're cleaning our water.
So me and Mum are off to Fundao, and we thought we'd take you guys along with us so you can see the beautiful views. So I'm not sure if you can see that behind me, but a good friend of ours has just told us that an Aldi has opened up in Covilha. So we're only a couple minutes away, as Covilha's like 10 minutes from Funchal. So we've come to have a look, and we've been living in Portugal for 8 years in September, for those of you who don't know. And the only Aldi, unfortunately, is in the Algarve and Porto. So we are going to go in and have a look and see if we can find some baked beans. And I got my baked beans, which I'm extremely happy about. But whilst we were in there, I also got myself a bottle of orange juice because it is so hot and the water we've brought with us has now gone warm. So I will see you back when we're at the farm. So we managed to get some baked beans. I know that might sound absolutely crazy, but you can get Heinz out here, but they are so expensive, and the cheaper knockoff beans do not taste anything alike. So I hope Dad enjoys these on his breakfast in the morning.
Baked beans! Ooh. So, nice cooked breakfast for me this morning. Thank you very much, Sandra.
Okay.
Poached eggs with bacon on toast. And beans. Oh. It's got to be 6 months since I've had a portion of baked beans. Oh, that's good. Some things from home you just can't live without, can you? Oh. And don't forget, I've still got salt and pepper sellers for sale on our Facebook page. So if you're interested in buying some of the wooden products we've got, don't forget the links in the description below. At the moment we're selling on our Facebook page. And now we're off up to see Molly at the goats. I'm going to stay here and finish my breakfast.
Oli and Jana are back this weekend, so we thought we would make Mum's messy pineapple pavlova. So we're going to be using some egg whites and some sugar to make our meringue.
At 150, because that's as low as my oven goes, for 95 minutes, and then we just leave it. The pavlova side of it is now cooked and cooled, so I've broken it into pieces. Molly is going to whip the cream for me because of my arthritic hands. It just takes too long, I can't do it. Now, they don't have double cream out here. They have this thing called natter batter, which is the closest that we can actually get to cream. But we keep it in the fridge, and you also put the bowl that you're going to whisk your cream in the freezer so it's cold. Otherwise, it just won't whip.
So I'm now going to pour the cream in the bowl and whip it up. So let's start mixing. So now you can see the cream is extremely whipped and is not coming out of the bowl. Now I'm going to hand you back to Mum.
Thank you, Molly, because I can't whip the cream. I'm literally just going to dollop the cream on top, as you can see. Got some pineapple chunks which I'm just going to sprinkle across the top. Jana's actually on her way here with some more pineapple for me because I thought I had more. So you can put as much or as little as you want. There you go. And then you just put that in the fridge and serve it when you want it.
So I'd like to say a huge thank you to everyone for watching this week's video, and don't forget to give us a like, subscribe and leave us a comment, and we will see you back here next week.
See you guys.